Welcome to Bond SCX. This is Lance, the Bargain Stock Bounty Hunter, back at you again with another great plays of the week. This is where X marks the spot to get you on the top. This is week 28, July 10th through July 14th. A long time coming since I've recorded the last video. I think it was week 9. So I've had a lot of things to take care of and get back on my game. But along the way, still been making some money and still investing and trading as usual. Just haven't been putting out any videos. So disclaimer before I get started, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I advising anyone to spend their money. This is only for educational purposes and only my opinion. Any money spent is at the individual's own discretion and not due to any information from me. Got Daz joining me today. He is going to help me and he's going to put out some calls. So real quick, if you're new to the channel or haven't seen a video in a while, this is my weekly scanner. So I actually scan, pull data from Yahoo Finance and pull for pretty interesting stocks that I feel are going to move up or down. So I'm pulling trend and I'm looking for true value of stocks. And so I'm going to look at the market before I get started. So I like to look at where the market is. So looking at the NASDAQ starting out and looking way back into where we were, we saw that we have pointed out where the market was kind of knocking on the 180 SMA here on the daily. And I'm looking at the day-by-day chart for a year. And we saw this crossover back in January, early in the year. See, the market's really taken off for the NASDAQ, pretty strong. And it's really been pretty bullish. And so we see a little bit of a couple opportunities for this one to pull back down. We see, again, this is the cake range, the purple lines here. This is where the price really wants to be. And I've also pulled a kind of a progressive line that goes back about, I believe, 5 years. So this is the progressive line of where the stock market wants to be. So they always say the stock market always goes up, it always goes up. And so if you look at where the price wants to be here, and then you also look at the cake range here, it's a lot of opportunity for this one to pull back down to kind of stay where right here in this range here. So I would say for this week, looking at the NASDAQ, my expectation for the NASDAQ to pull down a little bit slightly and be around the 13,425 to around the 13,606 range by Friday. A lot of opportunity there. We see the MACD pulling down. A little bit of momentum pulling up a little bit. So we do see a little bit of a disagreement here with the momentum, MACD, and the price action. So that's my call out and prediction for the NASDAQ. Moving on to the New York Stock Exchange. A little bit better picture here. This one has not been steady bullish since January. And we also see an opportunity for this one to pull down a little slightly as well. Again, we have the same progressive balance line pulling back from 5 years, and we see where it is in the cake range. So it's a little bit above. I think there's some opportunity for this one to pull back down and be more in this range here in the near future. We see definitely the MACD pulling back, and we see the momentum ticking up just slightly. So I think by Friday for the New York Stock Exchange, see a little bit of a pullback. Again, we had a short week last week, and we see a full week coming on this week at 15,511 to around 15,706. So ended Friday at 15,671. All right, so let's get into the plays of the week. Not too many this week, I think 6 or 7. Let's start off with Vertex Energy. Vertex Energy comes in at a trend of a 2. It's 40 cents overpriced at true value of $6 even. And let's look at the charts on Vertex Energy and show you what I'm looking at here. So I haven't called this stock out before in the past, I don't believe. So let's look at 1 year, 1 day. Zoom out really quick. All right, we see Vertex Energy. We see the cake range here. We see how it was at 1464 around August of last year. And we see how much it's pulled down since then. Been quite stable, I would say, coming into the first of the year. See definitely a nice increase back to this $11.15 range. Pull back to not 709 and then back into the 1051 range. So definitely a lot of opportunity for this one to cover some manipulation that happened back in April. And so here recently, we see a low of 515 coming in. And of course, energy stocks in this company, let's look at it real quick. Vertex Energy, quick analysis here. So it's an energy transition company, specialized in high marketing, high value, conventional, and lower carbon alternative transportation fuels. Basically operating oil processing plants out of Houston, Texas, Louisiana, and Columbus, Ohio. So basically an oil refinery, energy company. So if you know, energy companies have been down, price of oil has been down. And so we see some opportunity here, knowing those factors. Like what I'm seeing here in the uptick here from Friday. And again, since 515, price of 515 on June 22nd, this price has steady been climbing. So I do see a flag up here with it touching off on the 13-day multiple times, 3 days in a row, really 4 days in a row last week and week before. Still below the 180. I think at 552 is a really good price point. Come back and kind of cover a little manipulation that happened on June 29th, going into the holiday, right before the holiday. I think 552, and then by Friday, somewhere around the 598 to at least 623 price point. So we got a little opportunity here. This one is been a little bit of profitable as far as earnings calls. It beat earnings calls by about 50 cents, look like, on the last quarter, and we got one coming up here in the next month. So 552 is my price point for Vertex. That's what your call out for Vertex Energy.
Yeah, so my call, I put 585, anywhere below that.
Okay.
And my first target I got is 744.
$744 price point to get out. Okay. That's right.
To start trimming a little bit.
Okay. Not bad. What's your thoughts on Vertex? You ever looked at Vertex Energy before?
Nah, this is my first time actually hearing about this one.
All right. I've never
But I got
traded it
any
either.
long term, I think.
Good long term.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Anything else on Vertex Energy?
No, not from me.
All right. Moving on to the next company. Going on down the list here. So we got Plug Power. If you're not new to my channel, called out Plug Power. We called out Plug Power quite a bit over the last year. Plug Power comes in at trend of a 0, flat trend, 33 cents over price, a true value of $10.28. So definitely think we can get under that price point this week. So looking at Plug Power on the charts, it's been a while since we called this one out. So real quick, Plug Power is a electric, I guess it's electric power supply company, similar to ChargePoint and some of the other competitors, Tesla, out there. Look at some previous call outs. We called it around the 1557, 1579 range back in August of last year. See how it took off to 3156 price point. We also called it out around the 1475 range back in December, and took off a little bit in February to touch off on the 180, but we see a strong rejection on the 180-day SMA. And of course, we see a mighty strong pullback since that time frame in February, and has not really performed very well up until late here. 739 low back in on 515, and we see a flag up here, and we see the price really take off. So we see a nice little progression going on here with Plug Power. I think we can get in pretty much around 938. It'd be a great price point. Possibly getting even lower at 875, but I'm gonna go in with 938 for this week. It's on a wave count of a -2, so there's a lot of opportunity to get back to zero, to a balance point here, and it's below the 180 still. So looking for this one to attack the 180 somewhere in the August time frame, looks like, if not before then. So 938 is my call out for plug power. That's what your call out for plug power this week.
So I think 952 is pretty reasonable to get in for this week.
Sounds good. 952.
Or maybe, or maybe the next week, but yeah.
Okay. I think with the market being, if the market comes down this week, I definitely can get in those prices. Don't know how much it's going to pull up this week, but we'll see. MACD's pulling down a little bit, momentum's pulling up, so it could go either way. I do like the fact that it's showing a little bit of a flag down here, slightly. So could pull down some more. So, all right. Any more thoughts on plug power, Jazz?
Uh Not really, no. I think that's just one you probably best stop playing, long term.
Okay. Okay. All right. Next on the list is CVS, one of my favorites for the last few months. I've been slowly loading into CVS for a little while. So trend flat coming in this week, 25 cents on sale, coming in at a true value of $69.42. Let's look at the charts on CVS. A lot of opportunity I'm seeing here. Got a lot of numbers on here, so try to not get too confused here with all the numbers and alerts I've got on here. But real quick, CVS was at a high of 107.26 back in August of 2022. And we see it was really above what I call the cake range, where the price wants to be. And so we see how that's pulled back down. And it's really been on a steep downslide really since December, beginning of the year, into last year. Pretty incredible pullback for a company that's been around for quite a while. Dividend stock at 60 and a half cents. Really been pretty flat coming in the last few weeks, maybe last few months, actually, going back to May. So I'm seeing an opportunity here. It's actually going into a bullish divergence. It's in a bullish divergence, looking to converge soon. See a little bit of maybe a little fake out here from Friday. I do like what I'm seeing in momentum. I think there might be a possibility of 67.89. May not drop that far this week. Definitely see the high side being somewhere around the 71.68 range, if it does take off and does make a crossover this week. The wave counts have been steady pulling down. It got to a -5. Now it's in a -4, so it's ticked up. So it's the first time it's ticked up since December on the wave count. So that's another sign that it could definitely start to pull up soon. Does pay off dividends. If you buy some before the 20th of this month, and they do have an earnings call on August 2nd. So I say 67.89. Not sure it's going to get down quite that low. I'll be glad if it does. I'll definitely get a lot more. But CVS this week, I'm going in at 67.89. That's what your call out for CVS this week.
Right now I got 68.53 for this week to get in.
Okay.
But overall, I'm just not overly confident in CVS right now. My primary price target is 62.61, which is way out there. But
look what I got on here. 62.61. You cheat. You looked at my page. You looked at it and said that, didn't you? You saw that on there. You saw that alert on there.
I really didn't. I really
That's crazy.
I
I got
really
it on
do.
there.
62, 61, and I got 54, 63. Those are my two downside targets.
54. Okay. I don't think I have one that low, but yeah, 62, 61. I got alert there. And then I've got 67.95, 67.87, and 67.42. So I pulled 67.89 on here, but I've got alerts all over the place for this one. So 68.53 is a good price. Not bad. So you see all the
What's
volume
your
coming in. See all the volume coming in here. Came
mhm.
in June 14th, 15th, and 16th. Yeah, that right there is a good sign there too. So
What's your price target for profit? Just
um
the cake range or
so actually I don't know. I'm going back and forth. I really like around the 80, this $80 range is good. Um, depending on what strategy I use, if I want to go with if I want to hold it longer and do some covered calls, I may hold until somewhere in this range here, around this 90 to 85 range, somewhere in there. But short term, I would say if it can get to this level here, cover this manipulation, which is uncovered at 80.03, I'll be good. So yeah, it depends on
okay.
how much more I buy this week. That's gonna be another factor too. So I'm I'm not super heavy, but I might get heavier this week. So it just depends. So we'll see how the market does. If the New York Stock Exchange falls quite a bit and this price falls, I'll load up. So, any more thoughts
Okay.
on CVS this week?
No, not at all. I think it's a solid company though. So
All right. Enphase. So Enphase comes in flat this week. $1.34 on sale, 167.51. Haven't called out Enphase before. Been following it for a little while. So let's look at Enphase. Let's look at a analysis of them real quick. So Enphase is an information technology company. Once it pulls up here real quick. And my internet connection is slow today. So it's a global energy technology company. It develops, manufactures, and sells home energy solutions that manage energy generation, energy storage, and control and communications on one platform. So they have Enphase IQ Gateway, IQ Combiner, Enphase application, cloud-based energy management platform, and its IQ battery. So basically a home energy storage system. So kind of like a cloud-based information technology company. So real quick, let's look at 1 year, 1 day Enphase. So this one's had a high of $339.92. Looks like back on December 5th. This one's um, been making pretty good on earnings, actually outperforming, looks like every quarter, which is good, really good. We do see a steep decline since that 339 high. Um, has a lot of manipulation here. If we look into after earnings report, on April 26th, we saw the price go from 183 to 160. And we see about 25 million shares trade. So a lot of manipulation, but we did see this coverage happen, boom, right here. So it's already covered that manipulation from that day. And so we still see some steady kind of pullback, but really kind of settling of the stock price since this manipulation. Um, just from the low of 152.15, I see a little bit of a progression line here, a little bit of support right in here from the early July, uh, late June timeframe. So I think 158.25, a little bit of a flag, potential flag up coming in here. Good turnaround pretty nicely, well below the 180. And it definitely has a earnings report coming out. Looks like potentially on July 25th. So Could pull down some more, but I like what I'm seeing here. I like it at 158.25 this week. So that's my call out for Enphase. That's what your call out for Enphase this week.
For me, I got down 157 even.
Okay. Any thoughts on Enphase? You ever traded before?
No, I haven't traded, but I'm looking at it, and I think, I mean, I don't know much about the company, but chart wise, I mean, I noticed it's off of 339. I feel like he got some room to run,
Okay.
and I got pretty good support around that area, 157, 156 ish. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. You looking at any option on this one?
I did, but I haven't seen anything like open interest for the most parts are pretty low. The ones further out in January are around like I don't think I've seen one over 2,000, honestly. So
So pretty low as far as
I mean,
opening
it's not
stock.
horrible. Compared to others, yeah. But I got an upside target at 220. So
Not bad. 220 will be somewhere crossing this SMA. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any more
yeah,
thought?
I feel like once you get over that two,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say like I feel like once it gets over that the 200 DMA and I feel like that upside at 220 is gonna come. I feel like it's just gonna take a while, but I feel like it'll get back.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next company. Got a couple more left. So Sonos. So Sonos comes in flat, 30 cents overpriced, a true value of $15.91. Let's look at Sonos. Many of you guys have probably heard of Sonos, but let's look at it anyway. So Sonos is a consumer discretionary stock. So I think they do Bluetooth speakers, sound systems, wireless home systems. So many people have like a home stereo system. I've heard of them. Internet radio, podcast, audiobook content. Um, so they have streaming, and they also stream on Apple Music, Pandora, Spotify, and TuneIn. So anyway, they do streaming, and they also have sound systems for your home, and I guess for your cars as well. So all right, so looking at Sonos, so pretty nice company as far as looking at their chart here. Have a high of 2456. A lot of manipulation here early on in August. And then we see this company come down, hit a low of 1365 back in October. See a steady climb them up, really battling to get above that 180-day SMA, which is this green line here. And it's really stayed above that for the majority of January and all the way till we get to May. So most of the year, it's been above the 180-day SMA, really kind of bobbing in and out of this cake range really nicely. But we see at this last earnings call, they didn't perform very well. They did beat estimates, but didn't perform very well, obviously. And we see the price really fall high of 1769 to a low of 1568 with 16 million shares traded that day on 511. So we see a lot of manipulation in the stock price and waiting for coverage here. Hasn't been covered since that day. So I think it's a great opportunity getting in before it makes that coverage. Maybe a short-term, low profit opportunity here, but 1528, like it's a great price point if it falls there. Has a couple flags up here, 4 days out of 5 here. It touched off on the 13-day. It's not quite bullish, still flat there, but I think by Friday, somewhere around 1599 to 1660. Um, High opportunity of 1704, if not this week, maybe next week. So look, like what I'm seeing in the MACD and the momentum. So 1528 is my call out for Sonos this week. That's what your call out for Sonos. That's
About that.
mute.
Yeah, I'm here. It got stuck for some reason. For me, I got down 1470.
Okay.
Yeah, 1470.
All right. What's your thoughts on Sonos? You tried it before? You know anything about it?
No, I haven't traded before at all. I do like it, however, and I'm just playing off of some demand. I think that's in around the area, around 14, between 1462 to 14 like 74.
I
If I
see
can
where
get a
you're at
pullback
here.
there, that's all.
Yeah, going back to June 5th. I see that. Yeah, I hadn't covered that. I wouldn't say it's manipulation for me though, but definitely has potential coverage there though. That's about 2 million shares. That's about probably what they average, 1 to 2 million shares a day. But yeah, okay, 14.7, not a bad price. All right, anything else
Yeah.
on Sonos?
Might not get there this week. Yeah, I was gonna say it might not get there this week, but um I feel like once you get there, that's a good starting range. And my targets on the upside is 1769 and 2094.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's great. Great percentage there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so and then next, last but not least, Realty Income going long here for long-term play at flat trend, 43 cents on sale, $60 is the true value I've got this week. So looking at Realty Income. So this one is known for monthly dividends. Not very many companies give monthly dividends, but this one does. And I've received a couple months worth of dividends on this one. So real quick, I can't say that I've called this one out before. Of course, watched this one for quite a while. They pretty much give 25 cents per share every month. Not bad at all. So that ends up being $1 a year. This one's pretty profitable company month over month. Real quick, they deal in mostly commercial real estate. So real estate investment company trusts, companies engaged in acquiring, managing single unit, freestanding commercial properties under long-term net lease agreements throughout all 50 states of the U.S., they're Puerto Rico, UK, Spain, Italy. So properties are leased to retail, mostly retail clients. So like, like the malls, big, um, just large areas of agricultural land as well. Any commercial property pretty much can be built into this trust. So they had a high of 75.11 back in August 12th last year. Really big in decline. We're talking about, pull up my line here, almost about, you're looking at about that 25%, 25% down to 55, 15. I'm sorry, 55.50 in October last year. So we've seen this one fall quite a bit during that time frame, but since then, kind of stabilized. It's really attacked the 180-day and went above on January and then pulled right back down. Hasn't really attacked the 180-day much since then. See a nice little kind of since this low, nice little progression line here showing some support back in May, almost again here in June. So definitely like what I'm seeing here. It's looking like it's just tracking at this point. It's not in a bullish divergent yet. And we see this one starting to pull down just a little bit, MACD and momentum down a little bit. We do see a flag up here. So there's some disagreement here. Looks like it's trying to jump off track. That's what I would take it as when you see the price action kind of disagreeing with the momentum and the MACD. But I like it at 58.91. I think it possibly can get there this week, especially if the market pulls back down. I do have some more alerts at 58.35 and 56.18, but this week I'm gonna go out there with 58.91, start slow loading, buying a few here and there, depending on how the market looks this week. So that's my call out for realty income is 58.91. That's what your call out for realty income this week.
I got down 57.76.
776. What's your thoughts on realty income? Bought any before? Looked at it much?
I think I did an analysis on it a while ago, and
You did. Yeah, you did. That's right.
I had to dig and see if I can find that one. But no, I like it. I like it a lot. Like you said, not many companies paying monthly dividends. So um, I got a price target at, like I said, my downside is for me 57.76, and my upside for right now is what's this level right here highlighted? Did it save properly? 72.80. So
72.80. Okay.
long term, start trimming some profit.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. Um, I like it at 57.76 a lot, and anywhere below that, I'll probably start buying some more at like 50.46 or 52.33, around that price. Excuse me, around that price range to start adding some more.
Okay.
But it looks pretty strong if you ask me right now, though.
Yeah, and with the with the economy, I think a lot of analysts have been kind of poo-pooing on commercial real estate. So it could be part of why it's starting to fall over the last few months. But the real estate market has been kind of hit or miss, and commercial real estate's been probably going to be the biggest catalyst of that decline. So we'll see. I think there's probably some room to get down to 57.76, or probably down to what I've got down here, 56.18 also. So definitely great prices if you can get down that low. Real good prices. So all right. Anything else on realty income?
No, not for me.
All right. Well, that's it for week 28 plays of the week. Thanks for joining us, and appreciate being patient. If you've been waiting for us to put out another video, thank you for waiting, and I'll be looking forward for some more videos coming to you guys. Definitely have some more good content from stocks that we'll be pulling out. Kind of cover some more stuff hopefully in the near future, but keep watching. Keep pushing it out. If you have anyone who's interested in technical analysis, please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you for joining us.